We've almost had to convince people that television had an exciting future. Of course, we've said nothing but that for many years. But now you get a sense from the presenters, from the audience, that no further selves required. The television has a wonderful place within the digital universe, and in fact is really the centerpiece.
Over the last 2 years, the time spent online is flat, while the time spent viewing TV is growing. Social media is actually complementing the popularity and the importance of appointment viewing.
A lot of our programs or brands have up to 10 or 15% of the viewing on VOD, based as a percentage of the original broadcast. But it's not measured yet. So for every dollar you lose on a linear mode, you might make 5, 10, or 15 cents in VOD. But if we lose that dollar on one side and we replace it with 15 cents on the other side, it's going to be an issue eventually.
Television and media advertising that I think supports these kind of applications is it's present in an environment where the viewer is really engaged. And I think for us, one of the challenges that we have is to stop measuring our effectiveness by purely impressions and spend a lot more time by the effectiveness, by the outcomes that those impressions cause. And whenever you have an impression that occurs on a live TV program, on a co-viewing application, and then maybe later on a VOD or on a fan page, that is a far more powerful impression. And this kind of engagement is 5 to 10 more times more effective in recall and in affinity for the brand.
We created this application to run with Survivor, so you can, on the iPad, you have a network of people that you're tweeting with, and also you're playing a game in and around rooting for one team or the other.
First things first, what we need to do is make sure that if the ad's going to appear on an on-demand platform, that it's got a proper advertising load. It is accounted for in the same way that linear television is accounted for, and then all through the same with mobile and every other device. I mean, what we're trying to do is, first of all, automate all this, and the other side of it is aggregate it, put it all together in the same bucket, and call it video advertising, and sell it against a combined CPM with one measurement technique.
I think the one-on-one marketing that the advertiser will have with the consumer is the biggest change that will happen over the next 10 years.
And in the last 5 years, I think we really shown and proven that Canadians want to watch Canadian programming, whether it's on CBC or whether it's on other broadcasters. We just came off of our best season for Canadian shows ever in terms of our winter program, and that was many shows showing up all of a sudden in the top 30 programs. And I think it's a testament to a growing but needs to be nurtured industry that we can actually get there.
How cozy are Rogers and Bell going to be? I mean, you're about to put up a bill each to buy 3 horrible sports teams. How are you going to carve this up, and how integrated are these two companies going to be?
The acquisition is an acquisition based on content, and I think we're ferocious competitors everywhere else, but we'll come together on this particular area. Well, I think that was proven that can happen when you all have the same common goal in isolation, and that happened at the Olympics.
The next logical step is, now that you're teamed up, is you can gang up on the CBC and take away Hockey Night in Canada.
But look, so the first one,
is that going to happen?
Well, first of all, Michael, the first one was a silly question. The ownership and the broadcasting are just not, integrally related. Do you know who broadcasts the Leafs games today? Sportsnet and TSN. And who's going to broadcast the Leafs games tomorrow? Sportsnet and TSN. And we now have, the only way our broadcast networks make money is to see teams get into the playoffs and get beyond the first round of the playoffs. And so we have a pretty common alignment in that.